What's up, YouTubers? This is your boy, Big Mitchell Fan 12, coming to you with another video game review. This time I'm reviewing Laimbeer's Combat Basketball, and it was released on the Super Nintendo by Hudson Soft and Houston Consultants. Now, with the title of the game, it was real popular back during the life cycle of the NES and the Super Nintendo to have different sports celebrities' name being on the title of sports games. It happened with like Magic Johnson, Wayne Gretzky, Bill Walsh, and all that stuff. So this was during the 8 and 16-bit era, which was pretty much from 85 to say 96. Now the Laimbeer's Combat Basketball is pretty much this futuristic basketball game with fight elements, of course. I'll say with battle elements rather than fighting. And the plot is that former Detroit Pistons center Bill Laimbeer was canned, and he was hired as the commissioner of a fictional basketball league, where he just pretty much fired all the referees and changed all the rules to pretty much throwing out practically all the rules except for out of bounds and stuff. Now, the game actually has 4 modes in it: single game, start league, continue league, and game duration. Now, single game is pretty much the exhibition mode that you'll find in games like Madden, Tecmo Bowl, pretty much Tecmo Super Bowl, stuff like that. Now, the start league is pretty much the season mode, where 14 games are played, and the teams with the two teams with the best records go on to advance to play in another league. No, there's no playoffs in it neither. Now the teams that's in this game are called the Danger Dudes, Brothers Graham, Yamato Boys, Direct Action, Heavy Duty, the Ruffians, the Posse, and Alley Kings. Now, pretty much the name of these teams are pretty cliche to the title of the game, you know what I'm saying, and boring too at that. And once you select your team, you can change the team color. You can switch between having the team being controlled by the AI or you, and you can even change the name of the team. And you heard me right. You can change the name of the teams. I don't know if any other reviewer mentioned it. I'm assuming that's the case, but in any event, that's a bad sign. That's a sign of a bad game, rather, that you have a sports title where you can actually change the name of the team that you're using. Yes, that's a bad sign of a bad game when you have that particular option, because with every team within the sports title, whether it's licensed by a particular sports organization like the NFL or not, there's never the option of changing the name of the team. Now, one thing about it, you can view the other games that the teams are playing in, and just give them like any licensed title, whether it be like Madden or Tecmo Super Bowl, Tecmo NBA basketball, whatever the case may be. Well, and it does have a battery backup, like a lot of the sports titles that's licensed. Allows you to save the game, cut the game off, and go back and playing it. Then there's the game duration where you change the game clock from 3 minutes to 30 minutes. Obviously, I don't know why anybody would want to play this particular game for 30 minutes, but it is in there. One thing about this game that's different than any other basketball game, from a general standpoint, is the top down view, which really doesn't make any sense. Even with the non-licensed basketball games, because there's no other basketball game that I can think of that has the top down view. Even with the basketball games on Atari 2600, you know what I'm saying? You can also use weapons like saw blades, homing missiles, and mines and stuff. It's kind of like they're on the useless side to me. Maybe some of you who played it might think different, you know what I'm saying? But they're useless to me in that regard. And the only buttons that's used in the game are the D-pad and the B button, which makes absolutely no sense to me, because practically every basketball game that's been released since the NES's life cycle have used both buttons, both like the A and B buttons. If you talk about like Genesis, you use like all three buttons. Like with the Super Nintendo, you use the only buttons they wouldn't technically use were the shoulder buttons. But one button, what was Hudson Soft thinking about that one? You know what I'm saying? And here's a particular question: where does technically the battle come in? Because you use the weapons, but they don't make any hits. You know what I'm saying? And plus the combat. The title is called Laimbeer's Combat Basketball. You know what I'm saying? Because all I see is the players just pushing each other outside of using weapons, and I don't think the weapons pretty much hit that target either. You know what I'm saying? So what's the point of the big game having combat in the title when all the players do is push each other and the weapons miss, you know what I'm saying, for the most part. And like I say, there's like 14 games in a season, but the game is so boring. I don't want to really like explain it like that, because why should I? You know. Now the graphics and level design, which would include the top-down view, is pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? I would say it's mediocre at best, bad at worst, and it's a complete waste of the color palette in this game, in my opinion. And the use of the D-pad and the B button makes the gameplay and the controls just outright boring and a complete chore. You know what I'm saying? The soundtrack is pretty much boring and practically forgettable at best. You know what I'm saying? And to me, the worst part of this particular game is the top-down view, because most basketball games licensed or not don't use this view. Other views has been used, but the top-down view, and it really made no sense for the top-down view to be used whoever came up with this idea learned the hard way that the top dog view was pretty much the worst idea they had for this. One of the worst one of the worst ideas that was used for this game. And to be honest, the premise behind Bill Laimbeer's but combat basketball was good. It was just executed very poorly, with the emphasis on very. You know what I'm saying? It's just pretty much one of the worst pretty much I can say it is one of the worst basketball games that I've played. I can go on to say that it's practically the worst basketball game of all time, and probably the worst sports titles of all time. You know what I'm saying? Some might disagree with that. Some may not. You know what I'm saying? As far as the score, I would definitely give it a 1 out of 10. It's not because let's face it, this is a game that I would not recommend anyone play. You know what I'm saying? Not even for a let's play. You know what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, if you played Bill Laimbeer's combat basketball, and if you feel that it is one of the worst basketball games of all time, like I do, if you think it's the worst sports title of all time, mention it in the comment section. If you like my review of it, of Bill Laimbeer's combat basketball, don't hesitate to click the thumbs up button. And don't forget to subscribe. This is your boy, Big Metro Fad 12 signing off.